Let me turn this music down so that they don't take this video down. Hi. Hello, hello, hello. Hola, Giselle. Hi. Where's everybody today? How you doing? Oh, I've got a surprise for you today. I've got a surprise for you. How's it going, everyone? Hi. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Lex. Which one did you come to? Which breathwork session? So go ahead and drop in the comments below where you're based. I would love to know. Just gonna wait a couple of minutes for people to come in. Hi. Too soon, Amy? Is it Amy? Let me know. Yeah, Austin, Texas. Hi, 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 hi. All right, well, if you're here, I just want you to know that something very special is coming your way. Hi, Jason. Long time. San Diego, Costa Rica, love it. Our darling Reese's Pieces, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while, Risa. Oh my gosh, Sunmi, that's you? I didn't realize. You know, the pictures are so tiny here. Hi, Sunmi. Hi, Kimberlyn. Oh, nice. Lex, you were at the ColorCom event, so you know Sunmi too. Love it. Jamali Guy. Wait, Kimberlyn, you're in Mexico City? I was in Mexico City until yesterday. What? Hey, Amanda. Oh my gosh, Kimberlyn, I wish I knew. We were there Thursday night through yesterday afternoon. I loved Mexico City. It was so, so special. Oh my gosh. All right. So I'm just going to put a little thing down here so y'all know what's happening. Jers in the house, Lex. Love it. All right. So I'm just going to put a little comment here. NYC. Sending you so much love too. Thank you. Wait, Kimberlyn, you live in Mexico City? I wish I knew. I wish I knew. Hey, Alex. Wow, girl, we were there. We had an amazing time. We went for the Wellness Official team retreat. It was absolutely amazing. We stayed in Polanco. We spent a lot of time in Roma and Reforma and Condesa. Necesito practicar mi español. Art of Loving, hello, long time. So, all right, stay until the end, y'all, because I've got something special. And yeah, I'm just gonna stay to the end to receive. Let me go ahead and just put this in so that I don't get distracted. Y'all know me. Okay, so let's just pin the comment. So thank you so much for being here. Hola, Shomin Papi. Yes, so I'm feeling quite expansive today. Hey, Danny. Just got back from Mexico City. Kimberlyn, I'm so sorry we missed you. Hi, Brian. Hi, Knife. Nice to see y'all. So we just got back from Mexico City. I took my team to one of my favorite cities, and it was so special. It was everybody's first time, and it was just a really big moment for me to just take note of where I am in my work and in my life, to think that I can even go to Mexico, let alone bring my entire team, and that we as a team, the Wellness Official team, are just so solid, so loving, so kind, that this would be just an easeful, obvious, expansive thing that we get to do together. So yes, we just got back from Mexico City, and it was amazing. And we actually planned for all of 2022. And I have to tell y'all, 2022 is going to be expansive as hell. And if you stick around with us, you'll be able to have a big part of that expansion. Something that I shared with the team that was really on my heart was that expansion for me is not enough, that I actually want to see all of my people win, and my people being my community, both here online and in person. And that includes healers and the people who want to be healers, the people that work with healers, the people that support healers in any way. And so, it's just been really exciting to think about what it means to expand, not just myself, not just the community, but to expand others so that they can go and expand others. And to me, one of the biggest keys to that is financial abundance. And so, it's something that I've been talking a lot more about lately. And it's something that I feel is really, really, really important to acknowledge, especially in the wellness industry, the importance of you having financial abundance, the importance of you having the money, the resources, the physical support. Thank you, Daniela. Speaking of money, thanks, girl. Thanks for sending me some. I appreciate you. To have the financial means to be able to support the people, the places, the causes, the vulnerable in a way that only conscious, loving, kind people can. And so for me, one of the things that's really important that we talk about when we're talking about a collective expansion is for y'all to have money and for you to be really expansive in that domain. So let's just pause here for a second, because I would love to get a little bit of a lay of the land on where you are as it pertains to your financial abundance and prosperity. Thank you, Brian. I really appreciate you, Brian, for dropping that money to me. Thank you. It always comes back around, so thank you. So where are you? Go ahead and just share in the comments, because if you've been coming to this is our third week. I think some of you have come to every single one. We keep it super real, and we're using this space and this time and this safe container to really express real stuff. So tell me, where are you in your financial prosperity journey? Are you flourishing? Do you wait for the next check to come before you can cover your most basic needs? Where are you in your financial path? And where are you in relation to receiving financial and prosperous abundance? It's the Stoic Yogi. Learning to open, receive, and to share. Calling in more. Thank you, Valin. Nice to see you. In the early stages of reflecting on and revising my money story. Love that. Really well said. I love how you said that, Dee. Thank you for speaking that so beautifully. That's so empowering, and I can just feel that in that way of communicating your progression, you are rapidly expanding in this way. Love to see it. Just left my cushy salary job to pursue the healing path and being asked to fiercely trust spirit, universe, etc. Love it. All right. Well, we're going to talk about that a little bit more. So loving it, heal with cat. Struggling with consistency since quitting my corporate job. Thank you, Amanda. We're gonna kind of re-speak that in a second. So give me a chance to work with you on that, okay? I've been on my financial expansion journey. I'm finally on the path to flourishing. Amen. Love that. In Mexico City, so I know that your money's going even further. Jason, growth stage. Just left the recovery stage and finally settled into stability, using that as a base for growth. Love it, Jason. I support you in that journey. Somewhere in the middle, about to take the leap and trust lots of new. Desiree, welcome. Paycheck to paycheck, but really open to learning how to manage and manifest at the same time. And lastly, at the threshold of finally stepping into my power and self-worth and give and receive. Putting myself out there in order to receive money. Well, you came to the right place. Okay, so if you're just coming into the space today, I'm asking that you drop down in the comments specifically where you are in your financial abundance path, and where financially and as it relates to prosperity and always are you in receiving. So, there's been a lot of messages that have come through to me in the past 2 years, specifically around money and prosperity. And I have to tell you that one of the ways that I have really stepped into a new level of financial expansion, and a tax bracket for that matter, is truly because I was able to really look honestly at my money story. And I have to tell you that a lot of my money story, even as it is now, is actually not about money. So let's just start with that. One of the things that I'm really excited about that we're dropping next month is our Thriving and Aligned Healer course. And one of the main basics of this course is that we're not actually talking about business. We're talking about all the things that it takes to be the person that has the business. And today, I'm not going to actually talk to you about money. We're going to actually work through the things that are the basis and the energetics around how you feel about money, how you feel about your own value and your own worth. Because really, money is just the representation of the energetics of that. Yeah, thank you for continuing to share your money story and how and where you are in relation to prosperity. So just keep dropping that down there. And trust me when I say I think it's worth staying till the end. So when thinking about the past couple of years, I don't know if I've mentioned to y'all, but just as recently as 2017, I was really in the depths of what I now understand as actual poverty. And I think, what might be different from a lot of y'all is that I never worked a corporate job. And in some ways it has a lot of glamour to that. It's really fun. It was really great to have kind of a non-traditional path. But what also happened for many years was that I had no money. And because I didn't have the financial support of my family, with the exception of my aunt and uncle who live in LA who would let me stay with them, I really had to figure it out on my own, and I really had to figure it out the hard way, and I don't want that for any of y'all. So for anybody who is wanting to leave their corporate job or who has left their corporate job, I just want you to know that you don't have to go where I went, which was literal, utter poverty. And even though somehow, some way, I was always taken care of, and I think it's just the grace of God, the universe, source, always co-creating consciously, I still had so many belief systems around what was okay for me to receive. And a lot of it was really being able to receive out of kind of the kindness of others. If I didn't have a place to live, I would go and stay with my aunt and uncle here in LA. Or if I couldn't quite get by, it was like someone somewhere was going to support me, but not actually have an exchange. And it wasn't until I understood that that was directly related to childhood trauma and childhood programming that my money concept was really about someone kind of just throwing me a bone because they felt bad for me. And that was honestly how I understood it was okay for me to receive money, as it even related to things like getting partnership deals or getting modeling jobs or TV jobs when I was modeling and acting as a full-time struggling on-camera personality and model. And so a lot of my subconscious beliefs that I didn't even know that I had, y'all, was that I literally was moving through life, moving through my work as a freelancer, as a model, as an actress, as a healer, hoping that maybe someone would just, again, throw me a bone, help me out. And it was coming from a place of victimhood. Okay? So let's just pause there, because I think a lot of us are still working in victimhood. And I have to say, while sometimes I still go into my victim trauma response childhood self, for the most part, I can sincerely say that my life has transcended that experience and that identification. So my first question for you, and thank you, Molly, for being here, is where are you in your victimhood as it relates to money and to receiving, to prosperity in all ways? And let me be clear, prosperity is not just money. Prosperity is your full holistic self being cared for. So that's the prosperity of energy and love and support. That's the prosperity of the finances that pay your bills. That's the prosperity of being able to have intimate and conscious and loving relationships and connections. So prosperity in all ways, prosperity in health. I should underscore that. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. That's also prosperity. So my question now is, where are you in relationship to feeling like a victim in any of those areas of your life as it relates to prosperity? Because what I find with my clients and what I found with myself, and I need to continually be aware of, by the way, is that often we find ourselves being victimized. We find ourselves being the pattern and the program of being a victim in certain areas of our life. Thank you so much, Erica. And so when we find that we are victimized, subconsciously or consciously, what tends to happen is we're not able to be empowered and to take accountability for the self, so that we can then realize that all of our reality is one of our own creation. Okay, I'm gonna pause there. Sip my tea. Hi, sis. Jill of all trades. That's my little sister, y'all. Blood sister right there. So did y'all catch that? Are we on the same page here? When we step into areas of being a victim, which comes out of real victimhood, often as a child, then we relegate all of our possibilities to being someone else's job. Okay? So when we are not aware that we are caught in these patterns and programs of childhood victimization in different areas of our lives, so I'll give you a more specific detail on that. So it might be something like, wherever I go, things just don't work out for me. Or here's a really good victimhood one. I don't know how to get this. I don't know how to figure it out. It's too hard. I don't understand this. Something I used to say a lot in my victimhood programming was, I'm trying, but it's just not working for me. It's not working. Or here's another one. I can't handle this. Ooh, that's a really good one. I can't handle this. Tell me if any of this is ringing a visceral bell for you, because this for me is real. I have to constantly be conscious and mindful of those old patterns and programs of victimhood. Now, how does this relate specifically to prosperity and receiving support and receiving resources? Because when we are falling asleep to where we believe that we are victims and where we believe that we don't have agency, then we're not able to actually change our ability to receive. Thank you. Major key right there, y'all. That's a major key. So I'm going to ask you, because this is a community space and this is a safe space, and I thank you for that, because I really feel like we just have, just by intention and by authenticity, we have a beautiful community that comes into this space on Instagram. Okay, what a blessing, what an also intentional thing that this was for all of us to come together in this way. So I'm going to ask you, where are you a victim in your life? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the badges, y'all. Where are you creating victimhood in your life that you can see right now? So just as I'm asking you that, just sit with that, close your eyes. Where do I believe that I'm victimized? Subconsciously or consciously, that I'm willing to be seen, held, and to have the responsibility to transform right now. So I'll tell y'all one where I have felt in my victimhood relates to my home and my housing, and it relates to this new level that I've been called into. We've been talking about this for months, y'all. Y'all know that I have this amazing property in Silver Lake that my man and I are going to be buying. And where I have been feeling in victimhood is that there are too many things that are out of my control, like credit needing to be even better, even though it's good. Like there being these outside forces that are going to allow us to find the right house at the right time at the right price, right? That there's all these like unseeable, unknowable forces that are keeping me from being able to step into the reality of this home. That seems totally logical, but when I feel victimized by that and I feel like I have no agency or proactive steps next, then that really keeps me from being able to step into this home that is very real and vibrating and calling me. Does this make sense? So it can be super nuanced. Personal responsibility. I didn't know better. Now I do. It's time to hold myself accountable instead of being angry with my parents. My relationship with my mother, with stability and money. Thank you so much, y'all, for sharing this. So, one of the things that I've been really feeling into lately is that it's really important for me to share more of my childhood story and more of my family story. And I have to tell you, I've had a very challenging relationship with the parents that raised me and the family that is my blood. Extremely challenging, very traumatic at times, and really, really challenging to this day. And one of the things that I find we don't talk about in the wellness industry is the mental and emotional effects of that in our adulthood. And a lot of that relates to us feeling like a victim, not just as it relates to our parents or our mother or our dad or the lack thereof, but as it relates to where we self-parent ourselves in every other area of our lives, the way that we speak about ourselves, about our possibilities, about our safety, about our relationships as adults. So we have to be really, really, really mindful of this, because one of the ways that things really leveled up for me in terms of prosperity, my business, my client base having just an absolute overflow in all of these different areas of money and prosperity as it relates to health and as it relates to my relationship, and even having an amazing team and things growing in all of these different ways, really came from me understanding. Hey, Antonio, that's my brother, y'all. That's my blood brother right there. Hey, little bro, I love you. But one of the things that really became clear to me about how I could break through financially and in my prosperity in all ways was really understanding that there were dynamics in my family that I learned as a child that were very specifically keeping me from receiving because I didn't feel worthy, because I felt bad to receive to a larger degree for many years, because I was afraid how that would separate me from my family, how that would separate me from people that I felt I needed to stay connected to in some way, and in struggle that was in some ways with some family members actually the way to stay connected. Does that make sense? Now I'm staying a little, nebulous here because I want to be respectful, but that's the truth. So for me, what I realized was that one of the reasons why I was actually staying in victimhood and not even allowing myself to see that that's where I was vibrating for so long in relationships that were specifically very codependent was because I needed to stay connected to the family, and that one of those connections meant that I remained in victimhood and struggle. Ooh, thank you. So that's a big one for us, y'all. A lot of times we stay in these corporate jobs, in these dysfunctional relationships, in the small town that we don't want to live in the constant addiction of substances or money or sex or work, because it actually keeps us connected to a family that we at least recognize and understand to some extent. It helps us feel like at least we belong somewhere, because that's what we understand, that's what we know. And the people that we came from, the people that we raised us, they may not be okay with us breaking through from that. And that's just the honest to God truth. And I think that one of the things that is really hard about this concept as it relates to prosperity, as it relates to business, as it relates to expansion in all ways, is that we have a hard time admitting that about our own families, because it feels like the worst, the biggest betrayal that we could possibly commit, to cut those ties, to say, I'm not a victim anymore, to forgive, but also disconnect from those who want to stay in struggle, pain, and strife, in poverty and sickness. Because you know what? It's really hard to face our own inner shadow. It's really hard to address those deep and complex traumas and complex experiences and relationships. So when you want to think about receiving prosperity, receiving and expanding in your business in big ways, we've got to look at where we are connected, where we are chained to our struggle and our victimhood, and how that relates to what we consider the most safe and familiar, even if it's not actually best for us. Yeah. So, sometimes it actually is best that we completely disconnect from family and friends who really prefer for us to not thrive. And what really is required of us is for us to acknowledge that reality when that is so. That's hard. I'm gonna drink my tea while y'all catch that. Yeah, thank you. Hi, Nichelle. I'm so glad that you made it. Did you make it back to the States? Were you on the same plane with us? I didn't see you, so I don't know, but it was amazing to see you for a second. So, when we really want to receive, when we really want to expand, self-responsibility and self-reflection is key. Hi, Kim. And really having the audacity to start to allow ourselves to cut the ties, thank you, Urban Buddha, of emotional, physical, spiritual, and mental connections to victimhood. So one of the things that I found was really, really key for me is that over the years, I've had family members that I have no relationship with at all. And really complex, challenging, not good relationships, not healthy relationships with these family members that are adults, would-be mentors. And I realized that they were, instead of having a relationship with me, they were sending me money. Small amounts, not money that would pay my bills, let me tell you. But money that would kind of just be like, here you go, instead of connecting with you, I'm going to send you money. Instead of having an honest conversation with you, I'm going to send you money. Instead of having an honest, real, authentic connection with you, I'm just going to send you money. And I realized that the money was actually the signifactor of an inauthentic connection. And I realized that I was receiving small amounts and accepting that small amount of what was masking itself as love so that I could receive any love. Does this make sense? So let's get into this. Because sometimes receiving money is not actually receiving the full gift. So some of us out here are having our yes, like hush money. Some of us are literally receiving hush money, right? Some of us are having our bills paid by other people. Some of us are receiving money from family when really what we want is their love and attention and respect. Yeah? Okay. See, y'all are coming in because we're getting real now. Hi. So some of us are receiving financial prosperity and support in the place of what we really desire. Because what we really desire is safety, love, connection, peace, well-being, fulfillment, purpose, joy. And instead, we're accepting $100, $20, $1,000. That's not real prosperity. Thank you, Doris. So I want to be really clear that when we talk about breaking free so that we can be expansive and have real prosperity, we need to understand that sometimes we expect and accept pennies instead of an authentic, loving connection. And that is not prosperity. That is actually taking the mere pennies when God, source, universe is asking you to have all the abundance. And this can come from our families. This can come from our exes. This can come from strangers on the internet. I know some of y'all receive money from strangers on the internet. It's okay. There's no judgment. Thank you, Nichelle. There's no judgment. But what you're doing is you're limiting yourself from receiving the full breadth of abundance. So when we're talking about prosperity in its real essence, energetically, we're speaking about receiving right relationship from another, authentic connection from another, and then exchanging that energetically. And whatever form that comes in, whether that's someone giving you a home or writing you a check or sending you some love by reposting a post or a product. This is really what we're talking about, is authentic connection, not just giving to keep us quiet, giving to not be with what's really happening. Does this make sense? Decolonizing therapy. Welcome. Does this make sense? Are y'all hearing me? We got a little quiet all of a sudden, but we're popping in here. Again, thank you to everyone who's been sending out the badges. Thank you. Because when you give, you are also receiving. This is something I used to learn in the church, when we were tithing. They'd be like, tithes that you can also receive. I finally really understand this. Thank you, Amanda. When you give with a joyful heart, when you give with the understanding that you are cycling your money through, that you are investing into what is good, then you are opening up the spaciousness to receive more. So there's a couple of things that we talked about here. I feel like I should be making notes for myself because y'all know I have the tendency to kind of go to many things because it's all just coming through. But the first thing that we talked about is let us be aware of where we find ourselves in victimhood as it relates to our expansion and our prosperity and our ability to receive. Because where we find ourselves in victimhood, especially unconsciously, we are now locking ourselves in from being able to transform our own experience and to be able to expand, because expansion and prosperity comes from and is in direct relation to your own agency, your ability to allow your reality to be yours and not the product of someone else's actions. Okay, we're talking about adults here, so let's just be clear. Even though kids can learn this stuff, their parents are also responsible for that. So I just want to be clear, we're talking about being adults here. And then secondly, we're talking about sometimes we think that money is what we're actually wanting, and that when we allow ourselves to accept money instead of authentic connection, we're actually cutting ourselves off from the infinite abundance that's trying to come through. So Jason so well put it. Hush money is not just, thank you so much, babe. Hush money is not just when someone actually hurts you and then gives you some money so that you don't take them to court. Hush money could also be when a parent is giving you money instead of having a real relationship with you. Hush money could also be when an ex-boyfriend is paying your rent, but he doesn't really want to be with you. He's just pretending like he does, okay? So let's be real. That is not prosperous. That is not receiving to your highest and most fulfilling good. So the kind of prosperity and receiving that we're talking about, the kind of expansion that we're talking about, is your birthright. And that is to have loving, peaceful, authentic connections and exchange. And from that place, it builds on itself energetically instead of having a very small one-way street for you to be able to receive. The kind of prosperity that we're talking about is multidimensional, multifaceted, authentic, and true to source, what source is, which is love, which is peace, which is harmony, which is goodness, which then passes through all things and heals all of the shadow, all of the pain, all of the trauma, right? And so we're just talking about money. That ain't it. You feel me? So when we're really feeling into, thank you, Dee Dee, when we're really feeling into a collective expansion, individually and in the community and beyond, we're talking about receiving. What I really think it comes down to is being clear on all the areas in our life where we are blocking receiving the abundance that source is freely giving. Y'all, I'm just literally, this is just coming through. I didn't write any of this before. I'm not outlining this. So I myself will be rewatching this, and I hope you stick around, because one of the things that I decided to do literally minutes before this call today was I decided I'm going to give away $100. And I'm going to be so real with y'all. I have been receiving gifts, financial gifts, from a family member that has never been in contact with me and rarely responds to any of my emails, any of my phone calls, or any of my outreach for connection. And I just got $100 from them yesterday when I got back from Mexico City. And I'm going to take that $100 and I'm going to share it with one of y'all. And I'm not going to be receiving that money anymore. I'm keeping it real 100 with y'all today. Thank you for the badge, Sunny. I appreciate you. So I am going to be giving away $100 so that I can transmute that money into money that is about true, authentic connection. And that's going to be to one of y'all. So the way that I kind of just got this right before I got on was I decided that I'm going to take this $100 and I'm going to give it to someone after we get done with this live. And if you listened this far through, I'm going to ask you, once I post this, to go and put your intention around receiving money in the comments. Because also I realize, y'all, sometimes people are not seeing this because nobody's interacting with it after. So when I post this, I'm going to ask you, in the next 24 hours, go and put down your intention around receiving. And in a second, we're going to talk about what an intention really looks like so that it can be abundant and prosperous for you, whether you receive the money or not. But I'm going to go through those comments within 24 hours from today. And tomorrow, I'm going to pick one person who commented with their intention randomly. I'm just going to pick, and I'm going to give you $100. And I'm going to seed the $100 that came to me so that I can transmute that money that is just money and not actually an authentic connection, so that I can transmute it into an authentic connection to you. Do you hear me? Do you feel what I'm saying? Does this check out energetically? Because this is really just, this came to me today. I was like, oh, I received this money, this $100 that I actually, it doesn't feel right anymore. I don't need the financial money. I don't need the checks that come without real authentic connection. That's, at one point, y'all, I needed the money. Let's be honest. At one point, I was like, $75. Oh my God, I could buy some groceries. I don't need that money anymore. So now, instead of me taking that $100 and giving it to a charity, which I thought about doing, I was like, you know what? I could just give this money to a charity. Instead, I'm going to give it to one of you. Yeah. I'm going to give it to one of you. Hey, Tade. And the reason why I'm doing that is because this, what we're doing here, this is authentic connection. How do I know? Because y'all come and y'all share your real, authentic, intimate desires, intentions, wishes, things that you're ready to release, things that you're ready to receive here in this space. And isn't it interesting how in a container on Instagram Live with people that you don't know from all over the world, we're able to do this. It's beautiful. It's real. And that is why I say sometimes the most authentic connections and the most real family can be the people and the family that you create out in the world. And we have to be super clear and honest that sometimes those connections of the people who are your blood, the people who raised you, sometimes those connections are not what's best for you as an adult. And it's okay. It's okay. And I'll tell y'all, the person who sent me that check will know. Lovingly. Yes. So when I am talking about receiving, we're talking about receiving holistically, right? We're talking about any area where there is a disconnection from source and it's just about the physical realm and it's not inclusive of the emotional abundance. It's not inclusive of the spiritual abundance or the mental clarity and cleanliness. And it's just about the money. Don't do it. Don't receive it, because what we're here to do is receive the wholeness. We want every area of our lives to be clean and clear. Every area to be clean and clear. Right? So wherever in your life there is victimhood, wherever in your life there is a connection to struggle or not enoughness, inauthenticity, fake shit, cut it out. Take responsibility and know that God, source, universe, those who are truly aligned with you are trying to give. But if all those channels are blocked with inauthentic bullshit or fear or trauma or worry or guilt or shame, you cannot receive to the abundant, endless capacity that is your birthright. Right? We are multidimensional. And so when you're receiving, if we really want to up level, we really want to expand, every channel must be clear. Every channel must be vibrating to the highest of our capacity. And in the direct relation and proportion of that is how we can receive. Yeah. So I'm sending, thank you, Vivian. I'm sending you all so much love and support. There is no judgment. There is no judgment even to those who we are connected to in our family and in our lives, who are in struggle, who are in victimhood, who shame us and who doubt us, who tell us that we're not enough or that we're crazy. Even them, there's no judgment to them. It's just that that doesn't need to be my story. That doesn't need to be what I store in my body. That doesn't need to be what I store in my bank account. Thank you. Thank you, Steffi. So anywhere, thank you, Steffi, anywhere where it is not clean, thank you so much, Jazrina, we've got to cut those cords. So one of the things that came up for me the other day, I went to this amazing place called, it's something called, like, I put it on my Instagram. I went with my friend Krista. It's on Abbot Kinney. It's something called like Den Mother. It's called Den Mother. I went to this amazing place called Den Mother in Venice, and I was so blown away. Crystal Streets, my dear friend, colleague, student, healer, told me, you got to go to this place called Den Mother in Venice. And so I went to Den Mother, and when Chris and I got there and my therapist came to me, she looked me in the eye, and I was like, ooh, shit, I know this woman is about to throw down on me. It was supposed to be a foot massage. She did a full body clearing. And I was like, damn, I think I found another healer. So props to her. Her name is Adi at Den Mother. I'm going to go back to her very soon. And, she's working on my crown and my heart and my third eye and my throat, mostly my throat and up. And one of the messages that came through was about having space. And Spirit said to me, it's not that you have blockages. It's not that you have things that are wrong or that you have even resistance. It's actually that there is not space for more to come in. And I was like, whoo, okay, that's a big message for me. So I'm asking you, Tony, hi dear, where in your heart, in your mind, in your spirit, in your bank account, in your home, in your office, in your inbox, in your personal life, in your relationships, is there not enough space because there's a bunch of stuff in there that is inauthentic to you, that is not holistically true, that is not coming from your highest good? Where are you overcrowded with crap that is keeping what is holistically prosperous from being able to come in? So we got to clean house to receive. How can you receive? Think about it this way. If someone knows that your house is completely full with stuff, why would they want to go and buy you more stuff? If they know you can't hold it, if they know you don't have the space for it, right? So the same thing is happening all day when someone's just wanting to give to you, but they know that you can't have the space, the capacity to hold it, to take it, to receive it. So we've got to clear that. We've got to cleanse that. We've got to open up the space. We've got to make room for abundance. We've got to make room for receiving. Hi, Carl. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Maria. So where do you not have space to receive? And how can we make more space? So if you will, put in the comments below. Where are you needing to clear some things out that is inauthentic, that is not truly aligned, that is really not right for you, but you've been holding on to it because it's familiar, but you've been holding on to it because it feels safe? Hi, Jeremy. Yes, my success may require me to let people that I love go. Yeah. And I just have to reiterate that sometimes this feels like the highest betrayal. And they'll tell you that it's the highest betrayal. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You think you're better than us? That's a big fear. Oh my God, they might think that I think that I'm better than them. We got to let all that go. This is not about being better than your family. This is not being better than your ex or better than your high school friends. This is about being aligned. This is about being truthful. This is about being honest. This is about having authentic connection in every area of our lives. Because if not, we're cluttering it with just the physical realm. And what we're asking for, the kind of abundance that you are wanting, the kind of prosperity that we are talking about, is covering all of the layers of your being: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. It's all four and more. It's multidimensional. And if it's just physical, or if it's just emotional, or if it's just sexual, or if it's, because someone gives you the emotional needs that you feel like you need, but they don't actually show up for you physically, but they're not actually honest, but they don't contribute energetically to the well-being of the family. This is not covering all of that. And what we're talking about is multidimensional receiving, multidimensional prosperity, multidimensional holistic well-being. Thank you. So what does it come back to? Whenever someone's asking me, Milana, how did you do all of these things in the past couple of years? What's been going on? Because I honestly get asked this question a lot, and I think it's because so many of y'all have seen me through so many layers and stages of my life, if you've known me or followed me for years. And I think the number one thing that's been coming up is really healing these parts of myself that believe that I had to remain in struggle because there were people that I didn't want to leave behind, or there were parts of me that didn't think that I was worthy or able to actually live the visions that were in my heart. So a couple of days ago, I think I might have mentioned that I was on heart meditation for prosperity. That's a really powerful practice. That's really good for being able to look at our own programs and our own misconceptions about our reality. Hey, Jonathan. What's up, Jonathan? So a couple days ago, I had the pleasure of doing a Zoom panel for Public, which is a stock and crypto trading app that I work with in a community that I'm a part of. And we were speaking to the Columbia Women's Business Society. And it was really cool because it was a bunch of young women who go to Columbia and who are interested in business and investment. And one of the main questions that they asked us at the end was, if you could go back and tell yourself anything about money and investing, what would it be, besides that you wish you would have started earlier? Which, yes, I wish I would have started earlier. And the thing that I said in response that I think is really fitting for this conversation that we're having right now is that I wished that I had taken myself more seriously at a younger age, that I believed that it was possible for me to have the things that I imagined having. And I really thought about that after, and I was like, where am I not taking myself seriously? Where am I not believing that I can actually manifest, create, have, step into, release? What do I not take myself seriously about? And one of the biggest things for me was I was not taking myself seriously about buying my home with my partner. That I was like, yeah, I could have it, but I wasn't actually taking it seriously. So when we talk about receiving, I think sometimes we have this idea like, yes, I quit my job, so I'm sure I'll figure out how to be a healer full time. But are you actually doing the bold action? Are you actually aligning with your mental, spiritual, and emotional practices so that you are that person, not just the hopeful person, but you actually are that person? You're actually living as that vision that you have, not hoping that you'll be that, not afraid that maybe that's not going to work for you. So we've got to align ourselves fully with that reality and take that seriously. And wherever we don't, we've got to deprogram. And we've got to, and honestly, it's easy. Just look back to where you feel that you were a victim. Right? Jeremy's going to have to go. We're going to block Jeremy. We're not using that language, Jeremy, so you're gone, honey. So this is really, this example here of even what I just did, blocking someone. Clean container. Doesn't mean that there's not room for feedback, because let's be honest, when we're taking responsibility, sometimes we have to sometimes we have to really look at ourselves and check, like, where am I not being in alignment, and where am I needing to receive feedback? But when we have experiences where we've got toxic, hurtful, angry, unprocessed energy coming at us, no room for that. Opening the containers to receive more. clean container all day, every day. Hey, Jean. Clean container. And only we can do that work. Only we can say, you know what? This energy doesn't work for me, so I'm going to have a boundary. Only we can say, you know what? I'm actually being in victimhood and I need to step it up and come correct myself. Only we can do that. Clear container in all ways. So if you're just entering into the space, let me just share with you what we're doing here. After I post this, I am going to, thank you so much, Kat. I am going to open up this container. For the next 24 hours, I'm asking you to leave a comment on this video sharing what your intention is about receiving. And I will then, within 24 hours from now, so by 11 a.m. tomorrow, pick one of the people who commented with their intention, and I will give that person $100. I am taking $100 that was given to me, that is no longer in right relationship, that is no longer the full holistic connection that I desire, and I'm going to then seed that money to one of you. Blessings to Uganda, to you in Uganda. And I'm going to then transmute that energy into an authentic connection with one of you here in this community. That's what we're doing. So I'm going to ask you to be one of those people because I want you to receive your $100. Thank you, Kathy. I want you to receive your $100. And so really ask yourself, even if you don't end up, I mean, I'm sure there'll be many people, by the way, who will be dropping a comment after seeing this. And so if you don't receive it, know that that's not an indicator that you're not good or that you can't receive. No, because for all you know, someone might say, you know what, I'm going to give away $100 too. So when we put ourselves out there authentically and we put ourselves out there with not even an expectation, but a willingness to be seen as we truly are, ready and open to receive because we are clearing our container, we are opening up the space, infinite possibilities now present themselves. Okay? So I just want to give that to you, that what we're doing is not just so we can get chosen for the $100, but what we're doing is we're doing an act of allowing ourselves to receive. We're opening up the container. We're letting ourselves be vulnerable enough to have an authentic connection to receive from another. I would love to come to Uganda. Thank you for the invitation. So I am so appreciative of y'all. I have a couple of things I just want to share with you. We're going to be doing one more IG Live next week. I'm super excited about it. It's every Tuesday. If you haven't been watching the other ones, please do. I also want you to know, if you haven't signed up, we have 2 amazing wait lists that are already filling up, and I'm super excited and grateful for those of you who have signed up. The first one is called Thriving and Aligned. It is our Healer Business Foundations course. It is everything that we're talking about in a much deeper way, about all the energetics behind having a full-time job as a healer, having a business in the wellness industry. What does it actually look like energetically? What is required by us internally so that is a lifestyle that we're living? So that is the first wait list. If you haven't signed up for it, I highly recommend. It's packed. It's 6 weeks. I filmed the entire thing in one day, y'all. The whole thing was straight up channeling. There are multiple audio meditations, 2 live healings, and a bunch of extra goodies that are just wild. And the price is extremely fair. And I'm really excited about this because I think it's going to be probably one of my best and biggest offerings yet. Secondly, hi Donna. We have trainings coming up next year, and we're going to be dropping all of the dates at the top of 2022. Next year, I'll be dropping all of the dates. Hi, Yolanda, for our trainings. If you have not trained with us, I just cannot recommend this experience enough. If whether you want to be a healer or you want to have deep healing for yourself or both, the integrative energy healing training is the most transformational experience I've ever been able to facilitate, and it's been a breakthrough experience for literally over 100 people that have come through the training. We're doing 3 next year. If you want to be a part of that, I highly suggest you sign up for the wait list. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you. Highly recommend that you sign up for the wait list, because it's going to sell out, every single one. And I will just drop a little hint for those of you that are here. One of those trainings is going to be a training retreat in another country. And I'm not going to say which country yet, but just know we're doing something very fun, a full training and retreat, and it's not in the United States. So if you want to be a part of that, we're going to have very limited spots. You definitely want to sign up for the wait list as well. And it really is something that could be for any of you that have already trained with me. Doing the second round is really, really powerful. We've had someone do that before, and I think we'll probably have more for the international retreat training. So yes, super excited. We've been listening to you. I'm so grateful. And let's see, do I have any other things? Yeah, like I said, go ahead after I share this in my feed, go ahead, drop your intention. And before I close this out, we'll talk about exactly how to do that intention, because I find that that's really important. Go ahead and drop your intention in the comments of this post. And within 24 hours, I will choose one of those people. I will transmute my $100 to you. Wow. That's fun. That's pretty cool. Talk about receiving, right? All right, so before we go, let's just talk really quickly about what an intention wants to look like, how it wants to be expressed through you. An intention is always affirmative, okay? An intention is coming from a place of having it, not trying. It's a place of speaking it into existence as though it is, because it is. It's not about hope. It's not about trying. It's not about even believing. It's stepping, living into it and speaking of it from a place of reality, okay? So when you proclaim your intention, both in the comments of this video or in general, it's coming from a place of it is so. It is this. You speak of it as it is, not as it could be. You don't speak of it being in a way that's like it's a not. So we would not say an intention like, I don't want to be enslaved by my corporate job. That's not how we speak our intentions. Our intentions are speaking of what we do want as though they are, because they are. Does this make sense? Are we on the same page here? Super important. And then we embody, embody the healer within. I love your name. We embody, we live that intention. We become that reality. Does this make sense? We align with it by making the space, by releasing anything, any part of us in our inner world. And then as it reforms out into the outer world, we release and clear all of the parts of us that are not our intention. Does this make sense? Yes. So just one more time, for those of you who are coming in, because some of y'all I really care about and I want you to know. After I post this video, I'm going to ask you to drop your intention into the comments about what you are ready to receive this year and moving forward into 2022. And I will choose one person and I will send you $100 to transmute it into an authentic, abundant connection. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. I hope that you'll share this with your people. I hope that this was something that was truly supportive of you wherever you are today. Thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate every single one of you who is here sharing in a loving and authentic way. And as you saw, we're just going to keep this container clear and clean, because there's nothing more valuable, more prosperous than an authentic, loving, heart-centered connection. And so I'm just so grateful to all of you that we can have this both in person and digitally. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you next week, Tuesday at 10 a.m. PST. Until then, sending you lots of love. Thank you, Shelby, for the badge. Thanks, y'all. Yes. Thank you. Adios, mis amigos. Adios.